Hello, Lynn Thier here, and happy Friday, everyone. Black Friday deals are on. I'm sure you're online doing some shopping. But today I actually want to talk to you about something that's quite serious and something that doesn't often get talked about openly. There's a lot of keep things secret. And when we keep secrets, it actually can harm us, not only emotionally, but also physically. So disease can manifest in the body when we do keep things secret and don't deal with them. And so when we deal with things, we find alternative ways to deal with things to mask what's really going on. And so are you someone who maybe has struggled with weight issues or emotional eating? Maybe there's a link between depression and obesity or being overweight. Maybe you're just anxious. So these are all actually symptoms of childhood trauma and abuse. And many women, much like myself, who were sexually abused as children, use food as a way of covering up and coping. And I too, admittedly, have been one of those women who used to use food as a way of coping. But thankfully, I was introduced very early on to fitness. And I exercise a lot in the gym and work out. I also teach and train other people. So that has been my vice and my outlet for me. But, you know, for many women, they use food as a way to cope. And many women wear this excess weight as a shield. So being overweight for them actually equals safety. And so for me, I was fortunate to be involved in the fitness industry, and but for many years I did use food and other things, alcohol and whatnot, in my teen years, and drugs to mask what truly was going on the inside. You know, I was put on antidepressants at a young age after a suicide attempt at 15, and now, you know, in March I'll be turning 47. And I was on that medication for 29 years of my life. And I've been off of it now for 3 years, thanks to different outside the box techniques that I sought out and used for myself first before being trained in those modalities of the NLP, hypnosis, and timeline therapy techniques. So I've done some work, I've peeled off some of the layers, and I still have more to do, because we're always learning, growing, and that healing process can take years. And there's all different things that can help, and it's finding what is going to be the right fit for you. So I want to talk a little bit about the why. Why using weight as that shield, as that protective armor. So for individuals who've experienced trauma or even just significant emotional events in their lives, their weight helps them to create a barrier to the outside world. Yes, that layer of protection is even there unconsciously. So for some, weight serves to minimize their looks and sexuality. So in today's society, thin is in, and if you don't fit this mold, in theory, people will pay less attention to you and your body. So some women use their weight as protection against future abuse. And according to the survivors of Incest Anonymous, if, for instance, we perceive obesity to be unattractive, and if we believe, or we're told that, you know, when we were young, that abuse was caused because we were attractive, we may overeat in a misguided yet totally understandable attempt to defend ourselves from further sexual assault. So when it comes to emotional eating, for some, weight is a consequence of emotional eating. Emotions might become too high risk. You know, we just don't want to deal with it. And they've been through so much already that people would rather avoid any more hurt. We want to avoid pain, and we move towards pleasure, of course, right? And what gives you that dopamine high is, you know, chocolate and sweets. It gives you that temporary high, that fix of, ooh, it feels good, it tastes good. It's, you know, that good feeling inside, that food, right? So that food can sometimes numb you, right? It numbs you just like the use of alcohol, tobacco, drugs, or other things to soothe the comfort. So perhaps it started out as a once in a while comfort treat, and it snowballed into a full-fledged habit. Heading to the fridge or the pantry becomes an automatic reaction to life events or feeling stressed and upset or having that anxiety or worry. So we actually unconsciously eat out of pure habit before we know it. The bag of chips is gone or the whole thing of ice cream is eaten without you even realizing it because it's so unconscious. So how do you heal? How do you get past this and change habits more easily? Well, whether your weight is an intentional barrier or just a consequence of emotional eating and a habit, perhaps it has to do with hormonal imbalances, or maybe a little bit of everything. I'm going to give you a few things that could potentially help you right now, some tips. So number one is to be open to shifting your habits, and your mindset development is key. Open up that awareness, because people are not even aware of what they're doing. There's so much on automatic pilot. It's maybe even sitting still and going, okay, this is what happened. Why did this happen? Why did I reach for that bag of chips? Or why did I go through the drive-through again and eat all that junk food because I feel like shit afterwards, right? So it's just sitting still and asking yourself a few questions. And different techniques that can help change habits more easily is learning NLP, hypnosis that works with the unconscious mind, and timeline therapy techniques that can take you back into the past to actually let go and get rid of anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt are the 5 major negative emotions. And then underneath that could also be things like frustration, shame, rejection, or whatever else is there. And then it's to get rid of that. We also want to look at limiting beliefs too. What do you believe to be true that limits you? One big one for most women and even men is on the inside, even unconsciously, is I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not thin enough. I'm not whatever enough. So timeline therapy techniques can help with all of those things. Number 2 is to seek out resources and support. So family and friends that are actually supportive and on board with helping you to make positive shifts in behavior and mindset. Even, learning online, right? You can research things online. You can find books that are educational and supportive in your healing journey. Number 3 is to be gentle with yourself. And one of our NLP presuppositions states that there are no failures. There's only learning and feedback. So if you feel like you failed at something, you went off your diet one day, well, you did not fail. What was the learning and what's the feedback? Meaning, what action steps do you take going forward to move you in the direction that you want of your goals? Okay. And I want to encourage you, number 4, to indulge in some self-care. So instead of emotional eating or eating something that's not so good for you, what could you do instead? Could you have a nice warm bubble bath with Epsom salts and lavender? Could you reach out to a friend and go for an herbal tea or a coffee and just chat? Could you take in a yoga class or some mindfulness, listening to hypnosis and guided meditation, sitting still? Taking your pet for a walk. If you've got a dog or pets that you like to play with, that's very soothing and therapeutic. And number 5, take time to heal. Heal your heart, your body, and your soul. Maybe even seeking out someone who's certified in Reiki, energy healing. There's several people in this local area alone, and having an energy healing session might be just what you needed. And lastly, I cannot tell you how important it is to let go of those trapped negative emotions, because it's been researched with Deepak Chopra, trapped negative emotions in the body do create disease. And it could start out with a headache, maybe migraines. Then maybe you're getting more pain in the body, can lead to chronic pain. Other things, autoimmune diseases, and then even cancer, unfortunately. And from the research from Dr. Hammer and Dr. Tad James, who did research with cancer patients, I have the article and I'd be happy to share it with anyone who would like to have it. In this research, they did brain scans and body scans of cancer patients. And what is thought by Dr. Hammer is that usually 1 to 3 years prior to the cancer diagnosis is that there's a significant emotional event that happens. Dr. Hammer, a German doctor himself, had cancer, and he believed it was caused by when his 18-year-old son was murdered. And so when a significant emotion like that event happens like that, there's a lesion that happens in one of the brain layers, and every brain layer is attached to every organ of our body. So if anyone would like that article, I'd be happy to send it to your email. So if you're looking for coaching or guidance in any of these areas, please do reach out. I'm open to book a consultation to see how we might be a good fit to work together. And I encourage you to learn how to really take care of yourself, your health, so that you can heal and learn to thrive, because we were all meant to thrive, right? And so you are totally capable of doing that. So I'm wishing you a great day, a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.